And it's my privilege on behalf of everyone who works here, nurses, doctors, dietary staff, pharmacists, the people that clean the rooms, and everyone who has had even a little bit of a contribution to getting you to this day, for you to share with us the culmination of your high school career is a joy and an honor and a privilege, and it makes us very happy, and we're grateful to you for coming today.
That's one lesson that you've learned at an early stage in your life, which is that frequently life isn't fair. And what one does to deal with that determines, to a great degree, the probability of success or failure in life. And as this is a day that celebrates real success, it's worth pointing out that you've already learned the big lesson, which is you play the hand that you're dealt. You deal with unfairness, you don't dwell on it, and you move on. And you do what you can, and you realize your potential to its fullest. And it's a terrific thing that we're here to applaud you today, pat you on the back, and give you hugs because you've been so successful at that. So we're proud of you and we love you.
And now we'll continue with the presentation of awards. Dr. Myers.
Adina Berkowitz, the Outstanding Courage Award.
Dear fellow graduates, doctors, parents, and honored guests, 4 years ago, I walked through the doors of my high school for my first time, an invincible teenager in my mind. I was meeting new people, making new friends, and even enjoying my classes. That's when I was diagnosed with osteosarcoma. Though I didn't realize it at the time, I was being thrown into adulthood at a very early age. Like many of you, I was forced to skip school for MRIs, CAT scans, multiple doctor appointments, you name it. I felt that life was unfair. I always asked, why me? I battled through chemotherapy and life-altering surgeries, my above-the-knee amputation being the most significant. But here I am now, standing in front of you without assistance. I won't claim that I don't stumble or fall occasionally. I'll be honest, I'm pretty clumsy. But when I do fall, I just stand up and laugh. Is there any better way to remedy a situation? Looking back, I know that I should have thought, why not me? I've been blessed to meet so many remarkable doctors, nurses, volunteers, and fellow fighters, and to work with Make-A-Wish and Hole in the Wall Gang Camp, which I wouldn't have been able to otherwise. And also to appreciate my family more and admire the love and strength of other families in this hospital. They're the ones who accompanied us to all of our appointments, who sat by our bedsides when we woke up after surgery, and who comforted us when the stress of having cancer was too overwhelming. Thank you for your constant care and support. We love you. As cancer patients and survivors, we've learned lessons that no one can teach us in school. We've weathered, or still are weathering, the hardest time in our lives. And we know that compared with our cancer experiences, everything else is a breeze. We've learned to smile endlessly, love unconditionally, and appreciate all the small things life has to offer. As we move on with our lives, we will keep our stories in our hearts and continue to inspire others. Though we will be going our separate ways, we will always be connected with the PDH at Sloan Kettering, our experiences, and our love of life. Follow your hearts and take chances. We have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Congratulations, class of 2010, and thank you.
You make us proud for a lot of reasons. The major thing I think that really is extraordinary to me is always your courage. Your extraordinary courage over the years and the extraordinary courage of your parents. This was a friend who throughout life would always look to the other road because of the fact that he would always think that he had missed an opportunity. And he said he was hard on himself that way. It was written by Robert Frost. It's called The Road Not Taken. So 2 roads diverged in the yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down, one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as far as the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. For each of you and for your parents, you were not like Robert Frost's friend or Robert Frost. You were not in a circumstance where you were choosing. You were placed on a road, an extraordinarily difficult road, a road that none of us would have ever wished you needed to trod. And yet you did it. You have had an exemplary level of courage throughout your lives. You and your families have faced down death. You and your families have faced down the most dire extremes of pain. August Wilson once said, "Use the pain. It is your strength." You have the courage. You have the extraordinary courage to go on from now and through long lives. So what I'm really saying is as follows. It seems to me that each of you at a very, very early age has had to face questions, deal with dire extremes, see the fracturing of dreams on a day-to-day basis. Your parents are no different. For each of you, your parents want ultimate safety. They want your health. They want you to grow up. They want you to actually live the dreams that perhaps they had and certainly the ones that you had. And in many ways, the diagnosis of cancer is one that basically cuts that short. And yet, by the same token, you are dramatic evidence of the fact that it doesn't. It is like that other road in the wood, the one less traveled by. You've taken it, and the fact of the matter is it will lead on to promise and to extraordinary glory in the future. I have no doubt of your capacities. I have no doubt of your courage. You have more than almost anybody I know. You have been able to face down things that others never would think about. The last little quote from Kennedy is also worthwhile. There are those who look at things the way they are and ask why. I dream of things that never were and ask why not. Go to it. I'd like the graduates to rise. As chair of the Department of Pediatrics, I hereby pronounce you graduates, family, and friends the class of 2010.